Today I'm talking about how and why to place filters on your lenses and also how to adapt vintage lenses to your modern day body, like the FX30. Let's get into it. We are getting into vintage lenses and filters. I love vintage lenses, so we're going to talk about that. But first, let's start off with how to place filters on lenses and how do you know what filter as far as step-up rings specifically. The step-up rings are very important in order to place filters or just be able to adapt them to more than one. Hold up, before we continue, if you're into green screen at all, I got something you just might be interested in. Check it out real quick.
Let me guess, you got the green screen, but your results? A total mess. With Greenscreen's Essentials Part 1, I'll show you exactly how to light, shoot, and key like a pro without breaking the bank. Stop struggling and start creating. Get the results you deserve with Greenscreen Essentials. Grab it now and transform your videos today.
All right, so let's get into it. So this is a 50 millimeter 1.8 lens, all right, Sony lens. It's the FE, all right? This is the FX30. Now, let's just say I want to put my ND filter on here, which is very important, y'all. Make sure you know, there's no way you can, why are you going to buy an expensive camera and not have an ND filter? They should come together, okay? If you buy a camera, buy an ND filter. It's very important to get correct exposure, to get the correct motion blur. These things are amazing, all right? If there's any filter that you got to buy, it has to be an ND filter, not a whack one, a little cheap $10 one. You know, try to get something with some quality glass, all right? Because it can mess up your image. We'll talk more about that some other time, but this is very important. But anyway, back to the subject. I tend to drift a little bit, y'all. Now this here is a 72 millimeter filter, all right? This adapts to a lens that has a thread of 72 millimeters. How do you tell if your lens can adapt to that? All right, right here on the inside, most lenses, as this one you see a little mark there? Then it has a 49, all right? Now that 49 is telling you that this thread size is a 49 millimeter size. So that would mean, remember this is a 72. So that would mean I have to step up from a 49 to a 72, okay? And that's where these inexpensive but very important things come in with step-up rings, all right? These are step-up rings, and you use these in order to adapt any kind of filter to your lens, all right? Because see, you can go ahead and buy, let's say you got four or five different size lenses. You can go ahead and buy 4 or 5 of these, or just buy one to the biggest lens that you have, and then just use step-up rings to adapt them, okay? So you save money a little bit. All right, so like we said, this is a 49 millimeter. So on each of these step-up rings, on the side here, as you see, this is the one. As you see, it says 49 millimeter 72. So it's from 49, step it up to 72. So we'll take this. There we go. 49, 72. And there you go. Now we have a filter, a 72 millimeter filter on a 49 millimeter lens, all right? So I just wanted to show you that real quick. Some people don't speak much about these step-up rings, but they're pretty important because depending on how many different lenses you have, again, you don't want to keep buying just a bunch of ND filters for every lens. Just buy step-up rings. Now let's get into the vintage. Okay, so I have right here an MD Minolta 50 millimeter vintage lens. I love this lens. I've shot so much stuff with this lens, and it's just beautiful. All right, it goes on to a 2.8 or a 2 actually, and great lens. And you got to remember, every lens has their own mount system. All right, this has E-mount. You got Nikon, you got Canon, you got Micro Four Thirds. You got all different type of mounts. So you got to check your mount type with the thread size. All right, so this is an MD mount because it's from Minolta. So you go online, Amazon, and you look for MD NEX. NEX is also for E-mount. So MD to NEX. So that means this is gonna fit the MD mount. All right, and take this off. And then we just, are you lazy like me who just does this instead of looking for the dot? And there you go. Now we have, let me turn it on. Now we have a vintage lens. There you go. On a modern day camera, all right? Beautiful, love it, man. So that's how easy it is. And then let's say you wanted to add an ND filter to this, okay? You gotta look, this happens to be 49 millimeters. You see her, there's that sign, 49. So I already have the step-up ring on this, all right? Boom. There you go. And if you wanna put you can stack this. I like this one because you can stack it also. So I put a polarizer if you want to on there. But that's how you do it. Or let's say we want this bad boy. Now this is the Helios 44-2 vintage lens. I love this lens too. I'm telling you, these lens gives you a certain look. They give you a vibe, you know. But this one is an M42. So you gotta find an M42. Got it right here. And remember, it says right here, M42 NEX, which is this. And there you go. Now we have a Helios 44-2 on our joint, boy. I love it. I also have, you know, the Tacumars, beautiful vintage lens. So, you know, I just wanted to show you that. Nothing long, nothing crazy, but I'm gonna show you one wide angle lens. It's a Rokinon lens, 12 millimeter, and it's manual. And I've been using this for at least over 10 years, you know what I mean? And it's stood the test of time. It's a great lens. And this is what it is right here. This is the Rokinon 12 millimeter, and it's manual. And I believe they do have a, autofocus version of this, but you know, for some reason, I don't know, I haven't purchased it. I've been using this forever, especially when I was using my gimbal work for like shooting music videos. When you're sweeping in and out real fast, you put this to affinity focus, man. Not every lens has great affinity focus. This one, man, is pretty good, all right? But you know, this is a micro four thirds. Because I originally bought this for my Blackmagic, all right? So this is a micro four thirds. And you can still adapt this to this lens right here with this here. This is, as we read here, micro four thirds NEX. So let's just adapt that real quick just to show it to you, all right? Now here we go. We're just gonna connect the bottom. All right, there we go. It's connected. Now I like to use these whenever I really need a wide angle. Can you see that's a wide angle? All right, you probably can't see it that great, but it is a wide, and it goes to a 2.0. It's clean. I mean, this is nice, man. I really, really like this lens. But anyway, just wanted to show you even a micro four thirds lens can be placed on this bad boy right here. You know what I mean? So as we see, we have all of these nice vintage lenses. You don't gotta always stick to the modern stuff. Yeah, you can mix them up. Sometimes I mix them up. If I have to, I'll mix up a modern lens, you know, with a vintage lens. But I'm telling you, these vintage lenses, they give you a different look. And it's just a different texture. You know what I mean? If you haven't tried it, try it. And you don't need an old school camera. You can put it right here, man. And some people are scared because they're so used to autofocus that they don't understand manual, or they're scared of the manual. But I'm telling you, learn. If you really want to be skilled at what you do, if you want to be that person that people can count on and depend on, that means they can count on you and depend on you on any situation that you call yourself a master or whatever you want to call yourself. You know what I'm saying? An expert. If something happens to a autofocus and somebody say, hey, I got a manual lens over here, I got a lens in this manual, and you can't do the work properly still, that's an issue. So practice your manual work, okay? Don't just rely on autofocus stuff. Not this stuff, this is vintage. But don't just rely on autofocus lenses, because that's not always a time to use autofocus lenses. There's a time sometimes to turn that off, because it could look very unprofessional if it starts hunting, all right? The great thing about manual is you have total control over what it does, where it focuses, all right? Don't be scared of it. Study it, practice it. So if any scenario comes up, you got it. You won't look stupid, all right? I'm here to try to teach you the correct way and give you advice in order for you to grow your business, to do better, to look more professional, to be confident. That's what I'm here to do for you. And I can do that. I've done this for over 20 years, not only in the corporate world, but also down in the underworld. You know what I'm saying? You know, freelancers, especially where I come from, I started off on the ground level. You know what I mean? And grow from gangsters to corporate, all right? So I know how to deal with all kind of people, straight up. You know what I mean? And that's a whole other conversation we're gonna have one day. Maybe that's what I should call it, right? Gangster to corporate. But anyway, don't want to talk your head off. Just wanted to show you this is how you adapt vintage lenses. If you got any questions, comments, you know, let me know. Ask me whatever. I reply to everybody that I can reply to. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't be fronting on none of this. If I don't know something, I'm gonna tell you I don't know. You know, but if I know it, I got you. You feel me? Other than that, that's about it, y'all. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell on the side so you get notified on time, all right? And like I always say, it is what it is. I'm out.